Arsenal Fan TV. Mo, you know, I'm not even talking much about the game. It wasn't a great game. It's 3 points. We needed it, much needed 3 points to try and get in those European places. But the protest, something that I know you were pretty vocal about.
Yep.
Did it flop?
Yes, it did flop, but it was also better than my expectations. You know, I don't have much hope, or I don't have much faith in Arsenal fans uniting for a cause. You know, I don't have much faith that we will fight for what we want. You know, we'll talk about it a lot. We'll make a lot of noise about it. We'll tweet till our fingers are burning. When it really comes down to, you know, actually taking action about it, we're pretty crap at that, to be honest with you. So it was actually much better than I thought it would be. I thought there was going to be no one doing it in the ground. Just how I thought, you know, on the last one when I walked out at 75 minutes, I thought that no one would do it, and I was right about that one. This time I thought no one would do it, and, you know, a few people actually did. So yes, it flopped. But
Did they walk out earlier, or were they just going for the train?
No. The walkout, that did flop. I'm saying no one did that. No one specifically walked out at that time in protest. But today, people did hold up their pieces of paper or whatever, more than I thought they would. But still, it was still a flop. You know, you look at other clubs, and I admire them so much, like Coventry. Remember when they came here, what they did? You look at Liverpool fans. That is, you know, for me, to get that many people united behind a cause and to organise it, I've got a lot of admiration for that.
Is it because they haven't united behind the cause because they don't agree with it? Because they don't agree. There's a lot of fans there that don't want Arsene Wenger out.
But why are we talking about Arsene Wenger?
All right, so let
me just check what it says on this, yeah? Because everyone is confusing this for a Wenger out protest. What does this say? It says time for change. Now you tell me. I don't care who you are.
What is the change? What change is it?
But this is
because maybe the people were confused then. What's the change that was
How is there any confusion? It says time for change. And now what I don't understand...
What is that change? Because some people say the change is get rid of Arsene Wenger. Some people say the change is Kroenke's got to go. Some people say a change in mindset. Well, what is it? Then it's confusing, isn't it?
The change varies from person to person. That you cannot deny. That is an opinion. But today, the protest, and one thing I'll give Red Action and Black Scarf and AST, everyone got involved with this, a lot of credit for, is that they were clever enough to make the protest broad enough to ensure everyone's able to participate. Because as soon as they focus it, as soon as they refine it, like you're asking me to do now, you alienate people.
But unfortunately, the guys from The Sun and all those press guys that I saw earlier on before the game, and there was a load of them, they'd all turn up today because their main focus was on Wenger.
Yeah.
Especially after what he said yesterday about the fans at his news conference, their focus was on Arsene Wenger.
What's the difference between us and them?
Their focus, I'm saying that the outside people, their focus is on Arsene Wenger.
Right,
that is how they portray it.
People, what's the difference between us and them? The banner says time for change. Now you're a Sun reporter, and the Sun is an absolute rag. You're a Sun reporter, or you're an Arsenal fan. What is the difference between us and them? They've got papers to sell, and we love the club. So if it says time for change, it's time for change. If you've got a paper to sell, if it says time for change, it means Wenger out.
So what's the specifics that you want to change then?
For me, you know, the absolute minimum, and like, because there's a range of change. I don't mean to sound like I'm rhyming, but there's a range of change that you could advocate right now. But the absolute minimum change that I would like to see, and I mean that, the absolute minimum, is for the club to come out with a little bit of humility, with a little bit of objectivity, and say to the fans, we want to win leagues. We didn't win the league. That equals failure. You know, not winning a trophy equals failure. We have failed, and where there's failure, there's a necessity for change. So we understand that you're not happy, and we will actually try and work, try and listen to you, try and put things in place to make sure that next year we can be more successful than we have been this year.
And does that include getting rid of the manager?
I don't care what it includes, Robbie.
What do you want? No, I'm asking you.
Right,
do you want him gone?
My absolute ideal situation would be, I like Arsene Wenger. I love the guy because of what he's done for the club. And I think there's a talented manager there. I think that if he went to PSG and had their club and someone saying to him, you better win us League and you better win us the Champions League, I think he'd do a really good job there. So what I would like is Arsene Wenger to turn it around and leave on a glorious exit. Why would I not like that? The only reason I wouldn't want that...
You want him to stay?
I
was asking you because
there's conditions to it.
It's all very unclear to me.
Let me clarify, because there are conditions to it, because my focus is always Arsenal. It's not the man. I said that last time I spoke to you. He is just purely incidental. You know, I support Arsenal. My son, my daughter, when I have them, they will support Arsenal. they will not support Arsene Wenger. It's about Arsenal. That's my focus. So my change that I would like to see is someone comes into the club, or the working environment gets changed where Arsene Wenger has to deliver success. And if he doesn't deliver success, there's accountability and he gets held to account on it. He can't continue to finish third, finish fourth, and for there to be no sort of consequences to it. Also, another change.
He's done that for the last 12 years.
And
do you want him to stay or go? That's what I'm asking. 12 years he's done that.
But that's what I'm saying to you, Robbie. If he stays, he has to stay in the environment that doesn't allow that to happen without consequence. If that is going to be the case, if we're going to say to the manager, oh, you can finish where you like, there's no consequence, then I want him gone. Because I want to exploit Arsene Wenger's talents for the benefit of this club. And in the current environment, we're not extracting value from him. And he is a talented manager. He could go elsewhere and do brilliantly, but we are not extracting that value from him. So I want the club this summer to come out and say, do you know what? We have made mistakes, and just have a bit of respect for the fans. Don't stay silent. Don't treat us with contempt. Come out and say, do you know what?
Arsene Wenger said yesterday in his press conference, I've said this a few times, these are his quotes. He said that Kroenke always backs him in the transfer market.
Sure.
So he's said it. There's no point in us even going on about that.
Yeah, and we have to take it at
That's
face
his
value.
words.
Yeah.
That's his words. So then, him not buying an outfield player, that's got nothing to do with Kroenke.
We have to take him at face value.
That's got nothing to do with Stan Kroenke.
Of course, yeah. So what I'm saying is that if Arsene Wenger is in the environment where he can choose not to spend money, he can choose to finish third or fourth, and nothing will happen, get rid. Because I don't care who the man is, I care about Arsenal. And this would be my ideal, we can get someone in to challenge him, a director of football, whatever it might be, to say to him, listen, we have these areas of weakness, we are going to strengthen these areas, and you will manage the players. You can choose who they are, you can have your final say, you can do all of that, but we need to strengthen in these key areas. We've got resources, we have to use them, because what are they sitting there for? We are not, we don't have solvency requirements where we need to keep this money in the bank. If we can do that, then I want him to stay. But if we're not going to do that, I want him to go. Okay. And another thing that he said in his press conference yesterday, because you're saying he said, Kroenke said that Kroenke's never stopped spending money. Yeah, we have to take it on face value. But another thing he said that was absolute nonsense was that the fans have created a difficult climate at the stadium, and that's a reason why Arsenal haven't won the league. Because effectively, he said, away from home we've been league winners, and at home we haven't been, and as a result of the difficult climate. Now look, I can't believe a man of his experience and knowledge has made such a rookie error, because you look at the league table away from home, we're third. Yeah. So I mean, you're wrong on that. Also, it's the same fans, and you look at previous years where we've beaten all the little teams, I haven't beaten the big teams, and his specific criticism was that it's been harder to beat the smaller teams when we've created a difficult climate, and that's happened against the smaller teams. In previous years, it's been the other way around. This change, or that fact, is not down to the fans. If I was to ask you, allocate blame for Arsenal not winning games, or not winning enough games to win the league this year, I'm guessing the team, the manager, would come a hell of a lot higher up than the fans. I'd allocate 80%, or let's say I'd allocate 98% on team and manager, split it however you want, and maybe 2% on the fans. So how can you sit there in a press conference and have the audacity and the arrogance to call out fans? Like, where's taking personal responsibility? Had he said, I have had a bad season, the team have had a bad season, that's why we haven't won the league, and the fans hadn't helped, yeah, that's a balanced view. I can accept that. But for him to say that worries me, because to me what it shows is that if he's putting blame on that, and we're all asking for change, but he thinks we're to blame, well, he's going to change where the blame lies. He's not going to change himself, he's not going to change the team, and that worries me. He needs to wake up, Robbie.
Because you've just put a lot of reasons why you think, again, he should go.
Robbie, if Gazidis was there and says, listen, we're not going to change anything, I'd want Wenger out. That's what I can say to you. In the current environment, he is not the right man for the job. In the current environment, where it's all on the manager...
Gazidis was not at that press conference yesterday. That was Arsene Wenger.
And he was bang out of order.
Stan Kroenke wasn't at that press conference. That was Arsene Wenger.
And he was bang out of order.
So why we keep blaming all these up?
I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm saying that Arsene Wenger's got the talent to win trophies, but not here because we're not creating the right environment for him. Either create the environment or get rid of the manager. Because in this environment, if you had a manager like Simeone, I don't think he'd tolerate this. I think he'd say, look, either let me win things or I'm off. I'm wasting my time here. Arsene Wenger is a manager that's proved himself in English football, and I don't think he's got anything left to prove. So you either force him to get the value out of his talents, don't let him just coast. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to keep it the same, get rid. If you're willing to change it up, then keep him.
Accept this, blood, yeah? And I will do all I can, blood, yeah? I swear on my pick me life, dog. You understand? I will do whatever I can, blood, to get this man out, fam. I will
What
take
if
it.
he turns it around next season, though? I mean,
blood, he can't turn it around, fam.
you feel that's it? He
Nah,
can't.
blood, he needs to go, fam. Him, yeah, with the comments he made, yeah, he shouldn't have even been on the bench today, blood. How dare you blame the fans, blood? We were quiet for 12 blood clot years, fam. Yeah? 12 rotted years, blood. And you have a nerve to tell me that big egos are trying to manipulate Arsenal fans. No, they're not. Piers Morgan knows what he's talking about, blood.